Hi everyone and welcome back to the July monthly WARNO Tournament from SD League. Today we are watching Hippie vs Awoodenbox, both players playing as the 8th Infantry Division. So another mirror match. This time we have Hippie on the left in blue and on the right we have Awoodenbox in red. Now there's only one match in this setup because the loser of this game forfeits the second game. So we've just got the one today. Usual sort of spread of units, the majority of Awoodenbox's units going towards Charlie, though he's sending plenty down towards Alpha as well, but a lot more down there for Hippie. Just a smattering of units up here for Hippie at Charlie. Obviously early cap of the back points for both players, but Awoodenbox has gone for a very early cap of Charlie, but that said, Hippie is also going to cap here, he's just a little bit later. Also a couple of M1 Abrams in already for Hippie at this point, will be good for defense. Not quite so much in the way of tanks up here, just some cannon Jagdpanzers coming in there. Obviously will be pretty effective against these few squads of infantry, namely the Jägeraufkolk, because the Stingers aren't really going to bother the cannon Jagdpanzers. Fighting Falcons in already to deal with some of these choppers that Awoodenbox had brought in. Stinger down here for Awoodenbox, very nice. I like to see it. I like to see someone putting some defense down there. Just stops you getting a sneaky chopper around the back, gives you a bit of warning. I'd also have liked to see some kind of scout unit there as well. Chaparral coming in there, some more mech rifles. Awoodenbox getting himself into a nice defended position up here. Equally, he needs to think about bringing stuff in down at Alpha because eventually he will need to take this point. The other option is, of course, which is a more difficult option in some regards, is to push out from Charlie and go for Delta. The disadvantage here is you have a lot of open ground to cover. And, you know, there is time for Hippie to call in stuff in Delta to attack. Interestingly, he is bringing in a Cobra there, but obviously that Chaparral is incoming. There is also a Cobra remaining here. For Awoodenbox, he really needs to resupply that. Down at the bottom, we can see that Hippie is being a little bit more aggressive, pushing out from here, and obviously, ideally, he needs to take this whole area. So Alpha to push out to here means he can block off eventually reinforcements coming into Charlie. Those Jägeraufkolk are doing a lot better than I expected. Those cannon Jagdpanzers have had to pull all the way back. These mech rifles will deal with them, but yeah, I didn't expect them to push up that far. Cobra there, he really needs that Chaparral up here to deal with this Cobra, and there's a scout chopper. Down the bottom, Engineers Flash taking on some mech rifles. But they're out of flash already. I mean, they only get 4 shots in the flash launcher, so always a bit of a challenge for those guys. HE Bomber coming in here, but it'll probably be going for that Cobra. Yes, indeed, and it has killed it. Another Alpha Jet coming in. Fighting Falcon, along with the Stingers, has taken that one out, though. And this one will veer off. But it did the job. It did the job. Now these kind of Jagdpanzers can be used effectively as fire support to kill these Jägeraufkolk while they engage the mech rifles. He will run them away. As we see, Hippie successfully pushed out here, has killed the infantry that were in these buildings, and will now make some progress into this town. Reinforcements are coming in for Awoodenbox. He needs to be careful, though. He's got 1 Abrams there versus 2 here, and that Abrams is about to get a shot off on this one. Good shot. Obviously, he's against 2 Abrams. He needs to get that out of there. It's about to die. I don't think he realizes. There it goes, dead. These Jägeraufkolk will just not die. Look at them. Finally dead. They've been under sustained fire for what? 2 minutes there? IHOC coming in. Very good choice. We do know that Awoodenbox has aircraft and is willing to use them, so Hippie needs to bring in plenty of air defense. There are plenty of Stingers dotted around. A little bit worried about Awoodenbox at the moment, purely on the basis that he's in pretty reasonable control up here, but there are lots of M1 Abrams coming in, and he'll struggle to deal with those, I think. Whereas down here, I think Hippie has the advantage. He's pushed out quite far. So unless Awoodenbox has a trick up his sleeve, Right now it looks to be in Hippie's favour. Abrams being used to good effect against these mech rifles, but the mech rifles are getting shots off. Dragon 2s aren't bad at all. They do damage, but they're just a little bit slow. They're a little bit wavy to reach their targets. He's doing plenty of damage with them. They're taking a lot of fire. These cannon Jagdpanzers are not going to do much at this range. I mean, the cannon Jagdpanzers aren't bad. They do have penetration. They are kinetic. But, yeah. They have to get the shot off first. There we go. It did get a shot off there, so it is doing damage. And it finished it. Well done, cannon Jagdpanzers, with infantry support. Anti-tank Thunderbolt coming in to finish off that cannon Jagdpanzer. It missed both shots. Oh, that is very disappointing for Hippie. It's taking fire from the Chaparral as well. That's really disappointing that it missed the cannon Jagdpanzer. Fighting Falcon coming in, going after it. He needs to be careful though. There is a Chaparral there. And there was... Where did the Eyehawk go? Oh, it's over here. They're both together. That's unusual. Did manage to kill that jet, though. I just expected them to be spread out a bit more. Hippie not in such a good position for pushing this point now. With losing those 2 tanks. So it's all about what happens down here, really, now. Obviously, he still has these tanks intact. One of them slightly damaged. Hippie could do with some supply trucks down here. He does have one here, keeping his infantry alive. Lots of Jaeger coming in now. Tor 2 firing at these tanks. Good smoke from that tank. Tor 2 not in the best position here. It will take fire from those tanks and possibly these infantry as well. Nice bombing strike. Hippie playing very carefully with that. That is very Wargame Red Dragon-esque, moving in and out of smoke. That needs a repair urgently. Mech rifles being redirected towards the top there for Hippie. Obviously concerned about Awoodenbox getting into a well-defended position up there. Interestingly, they've stopped here. I thought they might go all the way up. Jaeger here, pushing against these Jaeger Aufgul. Along with some Heimatsuchen. Cannon Jagdpanzers being called in. Proven to be quite successful for Awoodenbox so far. And another Abrams. Less successful. One Abrams being moved up to provide fire support against these Jaeger. More Jaeger coming down. Quite balanced at the moment in terms of what's happening on the field. The real thing will be if one player can succeed down at the bottom forest here. And equally, it's kind of stagnated, but I can see Hippie pushing out a bit more. He's certainly pushed those Jaeger back with the tank. These Jaeger being dropped off here. We'll move down to try and engage some of these infantry. I see Bradley being called in there for Hippie. Not a lot being called in at the top now for Hippie. He has called in another Abrams up there, but I'm not convinced it's going to be too much help. There is an Abrams also being called in there for Awoodenbox. Neither player with anything around the back in this match. It's quite a sedate match in that sense. This is sort of an ongoing battle here. This supply, both players have a supply there. Very impressed by that. It is the thing to do in this situation, so you can keep rearming and repairing your infantry. In particular, these engineers' flash really need to be repaired and rearmed so that they can use their flash launcher, which is their main sort of advantage. Hippie getting driven back a bit here. Flash being pulled back to get rearmed, I think. Cannon Jagdpanzer being used as anti-infantry here. Supply rearming that tank. A-10 coming in, finally got the kill on that Cannon Jagdpanzer. Mech rifles pushing in here. These stingers will be, well, wiped out pretty quickly. Those mech rifles will do a lot of damage to them. That's the only thing is, obviously, Awoodenbox is concentrating down here. Because he needs to push Alpha, but he's got the issue of needing to defend this point as well. This Abrams is taking shots from a toe in the side. Near enough. And also a Cannon Jagdpanzer. Cannon Jagdpanzer missed. Toe got it. Beautiful hit. This Abrams being driven straight into here. That is a mistake. There are Heimatsuchen here. They still have the Panzerfaust 44. Need to get a side shot on it really, though. Could do with getting around the side of it, or even getting this Cannon Jagdpanzer just coming up to try and get a side shot. That'll make quick work of it if you can get a side or a rear shot. Especially close. Now it's going to be a front shot. Good damage, though, either way. And there's Heimatsuchen with a side shot. Very nice. He did lose a squad of Heimatsuchen in all of that mess, though. More engineers flash coming in here. 2 more squads. He will need them as well. Hippie is putting up a hell of a fight for this point. Up here we see that these mech rifles have pushed up. An M1A1 Abrams there. Getting hit by the mech rifles. Taking half damage. It's pretty effective. And they are surviving. That one seemed to have missed, even though it looked like it hit. There's very little in here for Awoodenbox, to be honest. He is bringing in more mech rifles, but they're heading down towards the bottom. These Jaeger pushing in as well now. Abrams pushing in. There are no tanks left down here in this area for Hippie right now. He still has that tank there, and he's got a Bradley here. 2 Bradleys, in fact. But he's out of tanks on the bottom of the map. That's good for Awoodenbox, as he has 2 tanks. Up at the top, TOW 2 stopping any reinforcements coming down this road. Lots of damage to that M1 Abrams. TOW 2 in a very good position there. Mech rifles and engineers flash here, being moved forward to try and take out these mech rifles that are coming in. More mech rifles here as well. That Abrams should be killed by this TOW 2. Mech rifles pushing here as well, though, against that M1 Abrams. What was that firing at? Was that the Bradley trying to fire a missile, or was that the mech rifles missile coming across? I'm not entirely sure. Didn't look like the TOW 2. Still a bit of loggerheads down here. There's not a lot of movement going on. They're just moving their infantry back and forward, repairing them and rearming them. Jet being taken out there. Looks like one of the Awoodenboxes, I think. Out in the corner of my eye. Another HE bomber coming in, though. I don't know if it's going to go for these or actually go all the way down here and try and kill some of these infantry. There's a Cobra there as well, which I'm sure he'll want to kill. Gone for the Cobra. Very nice job. Done a lot of damage to it. Awoodenbox making a push now. Interestingly, all of these forces here that Awoodenbox keeps trying to push with are still being held off by Hippie's units. He's doing a good job. And these ones trying to push in down this open road, surprisingly still alive. I'm genuinely surprised that Abrams is not dead. Ah, the TOW 2 is out of missiles. That'll be why then. Reinforcement supply coming in here for Hippie. I mean, credit to Hippie, he's keeping these guys alive. Another jet going down there. Not sure whose it was. Could have been either. Honestly, jets aren't making a huge difference in this battle for the most part. I think we've seen one bombing run that sort of cleared an area down here, but Hippie retook that area pretty easily. So, yeah, jets certainly haven't been the game changer in this one. It's all about simple amounts of units, and I'm really surprised. There are 24 minutes left in this game. And it's a heck of a slog. I really don't know who could win this game. It could genuinely go either way. So many units here still for Hippie. Awoodenbox just cannot breach these defensive lines, though there is less and less back here as Hippie moves more stuff forward. Whereas there seems to be a lot of stuff up here for Awoodenbox. That is one very... So this push, look at how far it's got. I'm genuinely impressed that Hippie has kept these alive. This Tour 2 is being run back to get resupplied, but these units are already... Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Because you surrendered? 15 minutes? I'm so confused right now. Can you tell by my silence? That did not look like a surrender situation. What happened there? Kills to losses weren't that big. I mean, 700-ish maybe, but not huge difference. Hippie a little bit behind. Did Hippie surrender? Did he get disconnected? I'm not quite sure what happened there. Hippie, if you're watching this, what happened? I thought you were both kind of struggling against each other rather than you struggling massively against Awoodenbox. But this now maybe explains... I don't know if Hippie got disconnected there, but that's maybe what happened. Please do let me know down in the comments. I'm not sure what happened there. Okay, in terms of kills, the Abrams was doing well. In general, the Cobra did okay. And on the other side, mech rifles, really. Nothing too stand out for either player. But yeah, I honestly don't know what exactly happened there. I know that Hippie forfeited the next game, so I don't know if he got disconnected with having connection issues or whatever, but never mind. Well played, guys. I was really enjoying that. It was quite a tense game. I'd love to see a rematch between you two at some point. Always good to see two Brits going head to head. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Please do like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for the rest of the week. We will have more WARNO. We should be getting the new milestone sometime this week, fingers crossed, so we can show off some more of the new stuff and play some of the new divisions and have a look at all of those nice changes. If you'd like an early preview of that, please do check out the SD League channel, which I will link below as always, as they have some videos up from Pro Soccer already. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you all soon.